Hello my friend and welcome to my channel. Today I've got China Glaze Frostbite and Flocking Powder. I've started off with IMK Peel Ease as my base coat. And here's the Frostbite from China Glaze. It is a gorgeous polish. And here's the Flocking Powders. I'm going to just talk while we do coats of the base color. Y'all can see what I'm doing. I don't really feel like I need to explain this part of it. So a lot of people have asked what the flocking powder is, and I wasn't really sure. I looked all over the internet, could never find anything that was substantial. But Miss Polished 26 did respond to one of my other friends here, to Joe Mama Pink and Squeaky, and she said that flocking powder is basically just tiny little hairy fibers, and people often use it for nail art or craft projects. And the fibers just give the surface that it's applied to a fuzzy or a velvety texture. So that is a really good description of what flocking powder is. And it's not for everybody. And we'll talk more about it as the video goes on. But it's a really unique look on a nail, and I really did like it. I enjoyed it. I don't know that I could wear it all the time or would even want to. So I've done my coats, and now I'm applying the flocking powder directly on to the top of that very wet, brand new, freshly painted nail. I am using tweezers to just kind of drop it down on. You don't want to really, get too crazy with this. I've turned my tweezers around to the flat end, and I'm just kind of tapping it very, very lightly to make it stick a little better. Now this is a messy ball game going on right here. I do have a piece of paper underneath me so that we can salvage and rescue the leftover, the shake off. And I've seen where there was a spot that didn't quite get enough, so I did add a little bit more. And now we're going to shake and, shimmy this off of this nail on anything that's loose. I will say that you will want to do one nail at a time. You do not want to just paint and then start doing it. You're going to want to do one nail at a time. I'm going to use my fluffy brush to brush off some of the excess. You want to be careful doing that part too, because it's on wet polish. It's going to take a minute. So there we go. I will have some better vantage points over this here in just a little bit. I think my swatch photo turned out pretty well, so you'll be able to see. So there we see, I'm shaking it off into the pot. And that is one way you can do it. You can cover the whole nail. Now I'm going to show two more ways, and I will talk about what I would do differently. Now this one, I'm going to use the silvery gray flocking powder. And I'm just using the color that I've already got on my nails. That's that Frostbite. And I'm using a dotting tool and just adding dots of the polish. Now I thought this looked kind of funky, weird. It made it look like those colorful little pom-poms that you used in arts and crafts as kids. Once again, with the tweezers, we're going over it and just kind of dabbing and smishing these around a little bit. Not smishing too hard. Like I said, you have to remember it's wet polish. One of those things that I have trouble with. So I'm just covering that whole nail, and a lot of it's going to go back into the pot. Back to the tapping, very, very, very light tapping. Just trying to make sure it sticks well. And this color looks kind of funny on that blue nail. I'll admit it, you'll see here just a little bit. But, it's kind of reminded me of like snowballs or something. It's definitely funky looking. I think I've got some kind of bacteria growing or something. Some kind of crystals, like kind of maybe ice crystals. Okay, now on this next nail, I'm gonna play with my Nemesis striping tape, and I am just putting down 3 little strips of striping tape. Now for this nail, it would have been ideal for me to have had a gray polish down to kind of coincide with that other nail, or to have used I think gray polish would have done better instead of what I'm doing, or to have used the grayish silvery looking flocking powder over this nail, but I wasn't thinking. Y'all, I was just playing. It's like in my sandbox playing, and I just wanted to experiment and show y'all a couple of different ways to play with this. And on this one, you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit on this nail because I didn't do the color combination properly. So, but I wanted to show the different ways you can use it, and let me know if you can think of other ways to play with this. I tried to stamp with it, like, you know, stamp on my nail and then put some over it, but it just wasn't, the polish wasn't thick enough for the flocking powder to stick to it. So we might play with that again sometime. You could also use, as your base, you could use like nail glue that you use for nail foils and get this to stick really well. And if you did it with gel polish and cured it, let me tell you, that stuff would stay on your nails for weeks. Now, you can wash your hands with it. You don't have to, you're not going to put any top coat on it or anything. It does stick to the nail. You can wash your hands, you can wash dishes, take a shower. It does come off a little bit, but nothing crazy. This would be what I would consider like one of those special event kind of things. Like you would want to do it and know that it wasn't going to just stay on forever. So that one was really hard to see, and I do apologize for that. But these other two nails, I think you can see them pretty well. And there we go. I had to break out the fishy brush. It's quite the mess. And I am using my skinny little cleanup brush to kind of just brush down through those empty space lines. And I think you would have really been able to see it well if I had, you know, done the right color on it. And on my pinky nail, I am just putting some top coat on it because I'm not doing any flocking powder on that one. What's my thoughts? Well, I think it's kind of cool. Like I said, I don't see me wearing it all the time, but I do think it's pretty neat. So here we go, a better vision, and you can see it's just fuzzy and velvety looking. And those look like, you know, those little pom-poms. How funny. So that is my take on this one. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this down below. And that is it for me today. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, be good to yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.